In the quiet town of Willowbrook, a tiny gray kitten named Whiskers lived happily with his kind owner, Miss Eleanor. Whiskers loved to chase butterflies, nap in the sun, and curl up on Miss Eleanor's lap. Life was perfect, until the day the neighborhood bully, a nasty boy named Greg, decided to torment him. Greg was known for being cruel to animals, and Whiskers was his latest target. One afternoon, as the kitten played in the garden, Greg snuck up and snatched him by the scruff. He stuffed Whiskers into a sack and took him far away, dumping him near the riverbanks. Laughing, he kicked dirt over the struggling kitten and left him there, thinking he'd never find his way home. But Greg had underestimated Whiskers. Soaked and shivering, Whiskers crawled out of the sack, his tiny heart pounding with fear and fury. He was no ordinary kitten. He had sharp instincts and an unbreakable spirit. The long journey back home was treacherous, filled with barking dogs and swooping crows, but Whiskers persevered. He traveled through muddy alleys and dark forests, growing tougher with each passing night. Finally, after 3 days of struggle, he arrived home, hungry but determined. Miss Eleanor, worried sick, sobbed with relief as she held him close. But Whiskers didn't forget. He didn't forgive. That night, as Greg lay in his bed, Whiskers snuck in through the open window, his glowing green eyes watching. With quiet precision, he crept onto Greg's chest, his tiny paws like ghostly whispers. Then, with a swift motion, he sank his sharp claws into Greg's face. Greg woke with a scream, flailing, but Whiskers was too fast. He darted around the room, knocking over lamps, tearing up clothes, and hissing like a demon. Greg cowered, covering his face, but Whiskers had one final trick. He leaped onto Greg's bedpost and, with a perfectly aimed swipe, sent Greg's beloved toy car collection crashing to the floor. The noise brought Greg's parents running. Seeing the scratches on their son's face and the chaos in his room, they scolded him severely, forcing him to confess his cruel act. Greg was punished, and from that night on, he never dared harm an animal again. Whiskers, victorious, returned home a legend. He curled up beside Miss Eleanor, purring softly, knowing justice had been served. And from that day forward, no one in Willowbrook ever messed with Whiskers again.